I think you get way more out of this setup than you do in a troopy. Hey guys, it's Bri here from Driven Garage. You may or may not know me from my gold GU coil cab, but more recently I've been building something a little bit different and probably a little bit more reliable. I got myself an N80 Hilux and we've done a bit of a build series on it. So we'll do a bit of a walk around and you'll see it's more than just an average N80 Hilux. So we probably need to start where it all began, which was actually with the underneath of the car, the suspensions. And the biggest thing I've learned to want to do is make my cars street legal. And what I did with this N80 Hilux is I tapped into SSM. If you don't know what that is, it's second stage manufacturing, which is something you have to do pre-registration. And it actually opens up a lot of opportunities with the way you can modify your vehicle. So what I did with this car is I took it down to superior engineering. And not only did we complete SSM, which makes it completely street legal, we also did it with a coil conversion. Because I have a coil cab patrol, I had to do it in the rear of the Hilux as well. This kit doesn't just do the coil conversion though, it's a complete suspension kit, upper control arms, remote res shocks, braided brake lines, and even chassis bracing to include a GVM upgrade for the big Taj Mahal on the back of it. So this means I can run 295s legally on a 4-inch lift, and there's not many Hiluxes you can do that post-rego. So building this car, wanting it to be street legal, SSM was my only option. So next up on the modifications was some engine work. I never really got around to this on my GU properly, so I knew when I got this car, I wanted to get it out of the way first to make sure I never had to come back to it. What we actually did was we did a turbo upgrade. Now, the later model N80s do come out with a better turbo than the earlier models, but you can never, have too much pony behind the bonnet, behind the wheels. Anyways, I did get my arm twisted by the G-Turbo boys to upgrade to their G300. Now this turbo has been fantastic and we obviously did a tune with it, and when you do tunes you obviously need to do your airbox as well. So we've gone with a Radius Fabrications airbox and a stainless snorkel to match. Now when we ran on the dyno we had around 160 kilowatt and 730 newton meters. For Hilux, I think that's pretty good. The drivability of it's been fantastic as well. It's really sharp and snappy throttle response. Before I poured the Taj Mahal on, we were around 10 litres, but now with all the weight this vehicle is carrying, we're still sitting around 12.5, which if you ask me for a tourer, it's pretty good. So this setup here is actually relatively new to me. I've done a bit of research on it, and when I originally brought the Hilux, I really thought I was going to go with a tray and canopy, and I was tossing up sizes and everything with the tray and canopy setups. But I knew that I did want to do a bit of touring in this vehicle, and I really wanted to be comfortable. And when I saw the alley cab product and this setup that you don't often see here in Australia, I thought, why not do something different? Why not build something how I actually want and how I'm going to use it? So I looked into the alley cab and we come up with the ModCap family camper, which is what we call this alley cab setup here. Now, this is obviously a big setup, and that's because it has a lot of function and it's a very modular design. This setup here can actually sleep up to 4 people. Essentially, you can fit the whole family in it. And the best way to describe it is if you are familiar with the Troopy series and the roof conversions they do, it's pretty much the same, but for a dual cab ute. And in my opinion, I think you get way more out of this setup than you do in a Troopy. On the exterior, you'll see there's a lot of molly panels and stuff like that. We've even got a cheeky little can crusher up here. On the inside as well, we've got a bunch of molly panels on the window, which is added security and mounting options. This is obviously our rear door kitchen, which we have a stainless bench and a chopping board, and we have a bunch of pantry storage as well. I'm running 2 30-litre drawers in the back of it. We do have a brand new 12-volt system that I'm also developing with Canopy. And then we have a 60-litre water tank up on the headboard. We have a bunch of storage options in the internal fit out. And honestly, the options for doing things with these setups are kind of unlimited. I think if you're purely a tourer or someone that wants to do a lap of Australia, this could be way better suited to you than a tray and canopy ever will for the functionality it has. I'm currently sitting up on one part of the bed. You can leave 4 pillows and 2 doonas in this setup, which is massive for a rooftop tent. But if you're on your own or you don't want to utilise all the beds, you just pop them up and then you're able to stand up in the entirety of the tub in this dual cab ute. But the cool thing about it is on a hot summer night, if you want to feel the breeze, this setup can be left open because alley cab has thought of everything. There's actually mozzie nets on all windows and even the rear door, so you can leave everything open to be able to get the flow in, or if it's a cold winter night, you're able to close everything up. So there are a few final touches to every build, and for me, there's a few non-negotiables. So first off is Bush Wraps, the paint protection film. I run this on all my vehicles because I do actually use my vehicles and I want to keep them protected from scratches and any blemishes you can put on the paint. So the self-healing paint protection film is an absolute no-brainer. I of course also have a GVM upgrade, which meant that I needed load-rated wheels. And I also want to add a bit of styling to the touch of the wheels, so we went with the ROH Assault in a polished finish. I've always wanted polished wheels, never had a car that would pull them off, so I thought when I got the Graphite Hilux, it was time to run them. And of course we paired them with the Nitto Trail Grapplers, the ultimate combination to keep it legal but also perform on and off-road. So if you guys enjoyed watching the walk around the Hilux or you want to hear more about the GU, make sure you stay tuned. Check out my channel, Driven Garage. I always have a few build episodes going on and showing you guys what I get up to with all my cars.